top Democrat on the Federal Election Commission is calling for a re-examination of regulations on internet political advertising, a move some claim will harm the last vestige of free speech in the political system and end up targeting right-leaning websites.
Ann Revelle is a Democrat. More to the point, she is the vice chair of the Federal Election Commission. And her recent statement about internet restrictions on political ads has started a spitstorm over the desire to control the web and a government wanting as much control as they can muster. Welcome to MidPoint, the man who has vowed to fight this line of thinking. He is the chairman of the Federal Election Commission. Republican Lee Goodman joins us today. Mr. Goodman, thank you so much for being here today.
Ed, thank you for having me.
When we look at this and what Ann Revelle is talking about here, is this not just basically another shot at censorship on the net and something of a tremendous overreach in what she wants to get accomplished?
Well, Ed, the internet has facilitated hundreds of thousands of voices on a level playing field. And the specter of the federal government starting to regulate thousands of websites and YouTube postings and videos and chat rooms and podcasts and webcasts and all of those ways in which the American people communicate over the internet is truly an ominous suggestion. I can't imagine a regulatory regime where bureaucrats in a room in Washington, D.C. cull the internet daily to see who's posting political commentary on the internet and then investigating how much they spend on their website or how much they spend on producing their YouTube posting. And I think that government needs to know when to leave well enough alone, and that's what I'm vowing to do.
Well, that's just it. We're talking about blogs, websites, podcasts. I mean, we're talking about every single thing. And what I think people are missing in this is what you just said. There would be, if we are correct in this and what Ms. Revelle wants to do, we're talking about looking at this 24/7, 365 on the depth and breadth of what the internet carries every single day. I don't know about Ms. Revelle or anybody else, but I think we barely have enough time to get about 8 seconds every single day on the web and figure out what's being said. This is a monstrous proposal. It seems like, just looking at it, it can't be done. It is an overreach, correct?
Yeah, I think as a practical matter, it would be very difficult to do and could lend itself to selective enforcement, because people would have to choose which websites to begin addressing on any given day, and there are hundreds of thousands of them out there. But more philosophically, and aside from just the practical problem of trying to enforce regulations on internet posters, think about the principles at stake. The internet has facilitated a level playing field of speech where individual citizens and small groups of citizens can form communities, can post blogs, can, if their ideas are creative and interesting, their ideas can resonate, and it is a level playing field of speech because an individual's voice has the same prominence and same positioning for people to find it and listen to it on the internet as well-funded corporate speech and big media speech. So this is a populist medium that we need to encourage, not discourage with a layer of regulation.
About a minute or so that we have left. We'll take a break, come back, we have more. But right now, is this, in your opinion, selective enforcement by a Democrat in order to point towards 2016 and the presidential election and slap down the free speech that they believe Republicans enjoy too much of?
I'm not going to make that allegation here today because the internet has been used by the left and the right. So any regulatory regime would affect all of them equally. But the right has thrived on the internet. The right is using the medium quite effectively. And that's one reason why everybody needs to be very concerned about this proposal.
Have you spoken to Ms. Revelle? I mean, obviously, you're probably just a couple of doors down from each other because this does seem like a real Grand Canyon-esque split in ideals.
Well, first, Vice Chair Ravel and I have an excellent professional working relationship on the commission. But this is just one area where we have a principled disagreement. And we have an understanding. Where we have philosophical disagreements, we have the right to speak out. And this is one area where I'm just going to be adverse and oppose Vice Chair Ravel in her thinking. What she's thinking, you can look at the context in which her statement was made. An organization was accused of posting 2 videos for free on YouTube, and our commission split in a party line vote.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to hold right there 1
Republican
second, Chairman Goodman. We're taking a break.
Yes.
Up against the clock. We'll be right back with FEC Chairman Lee Goodman right here on MidPoint.